Jamie's here to talk top 10 films of the year. Or is this your personal top 10?
This is my personal top 10, yeah, of the films I've reviewed on the Saturday show, of course, with your good self. And I've picked out some of the ones I've given either 4 or 5 stars to, put them into an order that I think that they're in. There will be some disagreements, there will be some arguments, and there will be, I'll probably miss out some people's personal favourites. But as I say, it's my opinion.
Well, the first one will appeal to anybody who is a big fan of, say, this phone, or that watch, or that computer. A
certain fruit-based electronics company, and it's Steve Jobs. I didn't expect to actually put this in the top 10, and it's a film that has stuck with me for quite a long time after I went to see it. It's 122 minutes long, so it's just over 2 hours, but it was a film where I sat down and I actually looked at my watch when it had finished and couldn't believe I'd actually been sat in the cinema for 2 hours because I was riveted from start to finish. It's Michael Fassbender plays Steve Jobs. Now, it goes to say that they usually get an actor who actually physically looks like the person he's actually playing, and I don't think Michael Fassbender looks like him at all, and I was questioning it whether he could actually pull this off, and he does. It's a very, very different take on what you'd expect to be a biopic about somebody's life, and it's written by Aaron Sorkin, who did the Social Network and The West Wing and The Newsroom and these really great TV shows and films over the last few years, and also directed by Danny Boyle, of course, who did Trainspotting, and also probably the most famous for directing the Olympic Games opening ceremony in 2012. And they've done a fantastic job by putting this together and just setting it in 3 stages of his life. The launch of the original Macintosh, the launch of his spin-off computer after he actually got sacked by Apple, and his triumphant return to Apple when he launched the iMac. And it's all about what takes place behind those big showcase events, those presentations, those keynote speeches that he became so famous for, and it just keeps you riveted throughout. Even if you're a non-Apple fan, I'm an Apple fan. I know James has got every single component that has ever been built by the company, but it's a superb script. It's superb acting. I'd say Michael Fassbender in the lead role. You've got Kate Winslet there, who plays his secretary. Is absolutely fantastic. Jeff Daniels, who plays the CEO of the Apple company, who actually was in the position to sack him, Steve Jobs at the time. And it's just a fascinating look into a man who actually changed the technology world and changed how we actually communicate with computers forever.
What about number 9?
Number 9 for me is I always have a guilty pleasure every year. My guilty pleasures tend to be the Marvel movies. Now, there's been quite a lot of Marvel movies since they started back in 2007 with the original Iron Man. Now, we've got all the way through. We've had the Avengers films, we've had Thor, we've had the Hulk, we've had all of these, Captain America and everything. But this one is called Ant-Man. Now, this was the film that was like people were saying, somebody's an ant, somebody's got the powers of an ant. He hasn't. He's got the power to shrink himself. Played by Paul Rudd, also starring Michael Douglas and Evangeline Lilly. This is a very different one for what they call the MCU, which is the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It isn't about a really big superhero who's going to save the day. It's a heist movie. It's about breaking into Michael Douglas's old company called Pimtech to steal some of the technology that has been stolen by him and stealing it back. It is a very different Marvel film. It is a Marvel film that's got quite a lot of laughs in it as well. Some really fun set pieces, some really funny set pieces as well. There's a brilliant piece with Thomas the Tank Engine. I'm not spoiling much, it's on the trailer. But for me, again, the villain could have been a little bit stronger, but it's all about introducing those characters. Ant-Man is going to appear in Civil War, which is out, Captain America Civil War, which is out in April of next year, or tomorrow, from whenever we want to call it. But It's just a really, really fun movie, and if you're not into your superhero movies, but you want to start getting into all the, because there's going to be 2 or 3 movies every year. Benedict Cumberbatch is going to be playing Doctor Strange later on in 2016, so he's moving into the Marvel Cinematic Universe from the Sherlock. So if you really wanted to get into this is a good place to start, because it's a really good standalone movie. You don't have to know what's gone on in Captain America and Iron Man and everything, and it is just really, really good fun and well worth a watch for anybody.
Right, the Martian at number 8's your latest film.
Yeah, the Martian is the latest from Ridley Scott, and it stars Matt Damon. He is an astronaut who gets stuck on Mars in the near future. Basically, he gets left for dead. There's a huge sandstorm on there. The rest of his team leave him because he's actually disappeared in this storm. They think he's passed away, and then he wakes up and he finds that he's left on the planet on its own. It's all about him trying to be rescued, him trying to cope with not having any supplies, not having any electricity, and having to generate it all himself, and actually science it all up to be able to actually survive for that long period of having to come back and try and rescue him. It is a brilliant performance from Matt Damon, because he spends most of the time actually on his own, of course, and just talking to the screen, because he's making logs as he goes along. So you can imagine what it's like to be that astronaut, totally cut off, totally, on his own, just coping with all the stresses and strains of being on Mars. It is brilliant performance. Again, they've got Matt Damon in the lead role. You've got Jessica Chastain as well, Kate Mara, and another brilliant performance from Jeff Daniels in the last few films that we've seen him in. And it is just a superb film that will keep you on the edge of your seat for the full duration, and it's out on DVD in a couple of weeks, so I'll be talking about it again. It is brilliant.
What about The Lady in the Van? This is one I did want to see this year.
Yes.
Never got around to it. It sounds fabulous.
And to be honest, it's still showing at Beverly Flemingate. So if you want to go and watch it,
we'll pop the toddler in one cinema,
yeah, and
I'll go off into a different one.
It is really. This is Dame Maggie Smith playing the lead character in Alan Bennett's from his own screenplay. And he's in it. He's played by Alex Jennings, and it's all about an old woman who, in a van, who turns up and parks on his drive and stays there for about 16 years. And it's about their relationship and how it influenced his writing, how it influenced him as a person, how it changed him as a person as well. It's funny, it's bittersweet, it is an absolute joy to watch, and it's my best British movie of the year. If Maggie Smith doesn't get any BAFTA nominations or even Oscar nominations for this, I don't know what's going wrong in the world. And it is just a superb film. There is quite a bit of swearing in for a 12, but it's all in context, because she is a potty-mouthed old woman who doesn't basically want to be helped by anybody, but she really does. And it's about her getting on with Alan Bennett. It's just an absolute joy of a film, and a film that everybody must see if you're a fan, especially of Alan Bennett and Dame Maggie Smith.
To number 6 on this countdown.
Yeah, this is Trainwreck. Now, this is a film that you might not have heard of, and an actress that you might not have heard of, an actress-comedian called Amy Schumer. Now, she is the next big thing in the United States. She is a stand-up comedian, I should say, and she has like a sketch show and stuff over in the States, but she's actually been given her own film, and she's about a woman who plays the fields a little bit. She doesn't want to be tied down. She doesn't want to get into a relationship. She bounces around between different men all the time in New York City, and then she actually meets somebody, and it changes her life. And I didn't expect much from this, because I'd not really seen anything of her before, but it's a mixture of laughs and tender moments, because it's actually based a lot on her life. And it's an ideal date movie. I think it's probably the best comedy of the year, because there's about 7 or 8 really genuinely laugh out loud moments in it, and it's one one of those films that will stay with you, especially if you've been single for a long time, and you'd think, like, would I do that? Would I do what Amy was doing in the film? And it is one of those films where you will think you will connect with the character really quickly, but it also shows you things have been how lonely it can actually be, just not being able to commit to anybody. But it's also some laugh out loud funny bits in it as well. Bill Hader plays the character, and it's directed by Judd Apatow, who did the films like Knocked Up, The 40-Year-Old Virgin, and This Is 40, and things like that. And it's just a superb, and it's definitely my comedy of the year.
And that's part one. Tune in for the second part, where you can see what is my number one film of 2015.